What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We're once again here with another offseason rebuild, and we're wrapping up the teams that didn't make the playoffs or the play-in, as today we have the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns obviously came into the season with lofty expectations, and they failed miserably, and they find themselves in a very interesting position. Let's go ahead and talk about it and do this Phoenix Suns offseason rebuild in NBA 2K25. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated, as we're currently on the road to 50,000 subs. So you want to help us reach that 50k goal, go ahead and hit that sub button to get us closer to that. But I'm recording this immediately after Denver OKC game 3, and of course Cleveland Indiana game 3 as well. This video probably won't be dropped until Sunday though, so I think game 4 is when you'll see these two games as well. The day game 4s are happening is when you'll see this video. But OKC Denver game 3 was a ton of fun. Cleveland Indiana was okay, but obviously Cleveland pretty much held on for the most part. But it's great that series are 2-1 right now rather than 3-0, right? So we're happy about that. So let's go ahead and submit the playoffs, and as I mentioned, let's talk about the Phoenix Suns, because we're all kind of aware on where they're at as a roster. They have traded pretty much everything and then some to build what they have built, and it has failed miserably. Matt Ishbia, I think, has come in and made some massive mistakes. No one could blame him for the Durant trade, but the Bradley Beal trade was really what did them in. And then when you don't even make the playoffs with everything you've traded away, or the plan for that matter, it's not a good look. The Timberwolves did go on to win the championship. But yeah, Durant is most certainly to be traded this offseason. There's already rumors about that. Obviously, they tried to trade him at the deadline. But it seems like Durant being gone is, the writing for that's on the wall. It's going to happen. It seems like anyway. Devin Booker, on the other hand, I don't think it's as simple. I do think there's a chance that he is traded. I also think there's a chance he stays. I'm leaning towards him staying, though, just because, I feel like Matt Ishbia is still going to try to want to build a contender if he can. So I don't really see him committing to a rebuild necessarily. So whatever we bring in, it has to help Devin Booker, basically. The last time I did do a Suns rebuild was like 2 months ago, and I traded Durant to Dallas. So we won't be trading him to Dallas today. We're probably going to be doing pretty much the reverse side of the trade we did in the Houston video, but with a twist. I have a little bit of an idea in my mind, but we'll see if I can execute it correctly. So let's go to the lottery, though, and let's see if our pick jumps up. Even though it doesn't belong to us, obviously it's going to Houston, and it's going to be, no. So it stays at number 10, so that's fine. So we got the Nets 1, Bulls 2, 76ers 3, and of course, as you guys are seeing, this draft lottery is tomorrow, so we'll actually know the official order as well. So it's actually good timing that I'm going to be having this series wrapped up, because we'll be doing Toronto before the lottery starts, and then we can just start with the draft lottery rebuilds immediately out of the gate, which is fun. But for staff signing, obviously Mike Budenholzer was fired, so we'll go ahead and make sure that is the case here. We got to get a new head coach, and let's see what options we have. So we have Nate McMillan in LA, we have James Barango, we have Morris, we have Newman, Joshua Willis, who is an assistant, but he actually has really good grades, actually. You know what? Give me Joshua Willis if he would sign with us. He doesn't have a job currently, so Josh Willis is going to be the new head coach of the Phoenix Suns. Welcome in. Now we head to draft night, and again, we can go ahead and start off with that Durant trade. So my plan is to, obviously, we will do an override in the Durant trade because he's going to get a lot of value in real life still. He's still a damn good player despite being 36 years old. I plan on doing the trade to Houston, but with a twist, so I'll kind of show you what I mean in just a second. So this is the idea that I had in my head. So the Durant trade with a twist. So basically Durant still goes to Houston, but this time around Jalen Green is rerouted to Orlando, which we are very aware they need some perimeter guard help. So could the Magic maybe get in on Jalen Green? I do think it's a possibility if he becomes available. And then obviously Reed Shepherd, our picks back are coming to us. We're going to get Anthony Black from the Orlando Magic along with KCP and a pick for taking on KCP's contract. And KCP is still a good player to have as well. Regardless, I think he had a little bit of a down year shooting. 34%, but still, we're happy to bring him in anyway. So this is kind of the Kevin Durant trade I was talking about. So I do think this is a nice little package for us to bring in to help us continue to build around Devin Booker. I think all three teams benefit off what they're trying to do here. So let's go ahead and make it happen, and we'll make these trades go through. And just like that, Durant is sent out of here. We get our picks back. We obviously still have to deal with Bradley Beal's contract, unfortunately, but there's no getting out of that more than likely. We get KCP, and his contract will expire next year, so maybe we could eventually trade that down the line. So yeah, I like that trade a lot. And Jalen Green, I don't think would have made as much sense here with Devin Booker staying. I think he makes a lot more sense in Orlando as someone they could definitely use if they want to take a flyer on Jalen Green. So I like that trade for all sides. Let me know what you guys think of it, though. I definitely am open to any kind of, I guess, want to say criticism you have about the trade. I love talking trades with people, as long as no one wants to be super rude about it. Give an actual educated opinion. But let's draft at 10 and 16. So let's see what we can do at 10 and 16. So at pick number 10, we will have Yakachonas on the board, Jeremiah Fears, Noah, Carter Bryant, and I do see Derek Queen, and I do think Derek Queen definitely makes a lot of sense here as a big that could, make a lot of sense off the bench for us or eventually starting down the line. So I do think this is where we'll start. So we're going to take Derek Queen here at pick 10 out of Maryland with our pick that we got in return. Yakachonas, and I don't know how to say the other guy's name, but Conrad, but that's probably not how you say it. And then you have Jeremiah Fears here, who does develop extremely well. You have Jace Richardson, Colin Maury Boyles, and then Ben Boogie Flan, Thomas Sobers, Lundberg. So I kind of want to take Jeremiah Fears, but at the same time I don't, because I want to let Reed Shepard develop in that backup point guard role. But I don't know. And then we could take Issa Noel instead. Or do we take Jeremiah Fears? Fears does become like super great in the 2K sim. So I do think we should probably take him and not even think twice about it. So we'll take Jeremiah Fears. We do have one more first rounder, I believe. So we have Johnny Broom. We have Donnie Freeman. We have Kyle Brenner as well out of Creighton. We already took a 5. So give me McKenzie here with this last selection out of Indiana. So that will be our draft. So far this offseason, bring in Derek Queen, Jeremiah Fears, McKenzie. We get Tyron Grant Foster in round 2 as well out of Grand Canyon. So we'll bring all, well, just kidding, we can't. So, nope. No, we can't. Why? We can't even sign our other first rounder? That's actually crazy. So we have to release somebody? What's going on here? So, maybe we have to release some of the 2-ways we have? I don't know. Would that make a difference? Let's see. So yeah, it looks like we can sign our first round pick now. I guess we can't sign our second. Just kidding. That doesn't change anything. So I guess we can't sign our last first rounder. That's actually crazy to think about. Anybody else I could release necessarily? I mean, Eric Darrow, Mitchich, Reed Shepard. That's crazy, but I guess we're not going to be able to sign McKenzie to the roster. We have too many players in the main roster, which is just kind of dumb because you're allowed to have as many players, I believe, in the offseason, but obviously you have to change that. So we would have gotten rid of Mitchich, but unfortunately we could not have signed our first round pick at pick 30, which is just ridiculous. But what can you do? So now for free agency, we have Mason Plum as a free agent, and that's about it. So this is what it's looking like now. So now you have Devin Booker, Anthony Black, Jeremiah Fears, and Reed Shepard. So obviously a little bit of a logjam in the point guard spot, but Booker is going to slide over to the 2 now. So I do like Anthony Black and Booker as a backcourt going forward. I think Anthony Black could fit pretty well next to him as far as, being able to be a big guard next to him that can play some defense. So I like that. Fears will continue to develop, so will Reed Shepard. And you have Bradley Beal for now, and then you have KCP, Grayson Allen. So you have Ryan Dunn, Cody Martin, Royce O'Neal, and then you have Nick Richards, Derek Queen, and Iguodaro. So a lot of cool things about this. Obviously, our 4 positions definitely need a little bit more work. So I guess the main thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move KCP to the 3 this year. He does go up to a 79 overall, which is interesting, but we just need somebody to play there, so we'll move him there. That will fix a little bit of that shooting guard logjam, just a little bit. And we do kind of need an actual power forward starting, so I don't know if there would be an option here to go after. So Champagny is sitting here, shot 38% from 3 last year, and we could get him for like 3 years on a very small contract. That's the type of contract we need right now. So yeah, sign me up for that. So we're going to go renounce the rest of these guys. We'll be going to the next season with what we have currently. Now, this isn't a contender yet, but I do think some of the things we've brought in can help us build towards that. So Bradley Beal's contract is obviously really, handicapping us right now. Once that is gone, we'll have a lot more freedom as well. So that will be great. When that's gone, we can rejoice. But you do have a couple young players developing, which is great. We want to have a little bit of a young foundation working out, and then we'll kind of choose what young players we want to send out to maybe bring in a second star next to Devin Booker, because we want to take another swing at this eventually. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to do it just this moment with Bradley Beal's contract kind of a hindrance to us. The one thing I can say is it's technically a big expiring, but he still holds that no trade clause, so there's no guarantee I can just get rid of him because he's able to just say no to anything I try to do. So we'll maybe explore the idea of sending Beal out of here, but I have to think if he would maybe even say yes to the idea of it. So we might be stuck with him for another year. Then we can, decline his option after this season, but we'll see. So we're a 3.5 balance system. So this is what your starting 5 would look like going into the season. So it's Anthony Black, Devin Booker, KCP, Royce O'Neal, Nick Richards, Bradley Beal, Ryan Dunn, Champagnie, Grayson Allen, and then Derek Queen. So it does suck not getting a lot of these guys, not getting minutes down here. It does suck a little bit. So I guess we're going to go 11 deep. So Reed Shepard, Iguodaro, and then Fears, I guess, and Derek Queen aren't going to get minutes for now, which sucks because I want them to. But we do have technically Iguodaro getting that backup 5 run, and then Richards, who I'll probably end up trading if I had to guess, because we're going to let Iguodaro and Derek Queen take the keys here. But we'll see, man. I'm not really sure what to expect this season. I could see us making the playoffs, and I could totally see us missing out. Either way, we have our draft pick, so even if we do miss the playoffs, it doesn't hurt us too much. But I might see at the deadline to do some things, depending on how we're doing. Or I'll just see at the end of year 1. We'll see. So we are at the trade deadline, and I did want to trade Nick Richards out of here. And at this moment, the Pacers are offering me Ben Shepherd, which I don't hate the idea of. Only 24 years old, not getting a lot of run in Indiana right now. So we're going to go ahead and send Richards in a second to acquire Ben Shepherd, who has a small contract next year as well. So he's going to be maybe a rotational piece for us. But the main thing I'm trying to accomplish here is we're trying to give minutes to Derek Queen to end off this season, because I do want him to play. So we're going to have to bench somebody. And I think, I don't even know who it's going to be. So Iguodaro is now starting, which is great. But I wanted Queen to play too. So maybe it has to be KCP, who has obviously got, yeah. So I think it has to be KCP. So KCP is going to be benched now, and Derek Queen's going to get some run. And we'll rock with this. A lot still to, figure out. But Derek Queen's going to get some run here. We're 4 games under 500 at the moment. So we're not quite where we want to be. But again, slow approach. Once Bradley Beal's contract is gone, it's going to free us up a lot more money and a lot more things that we can do. But there's still a chance to make it into the play-in this year, regardless of how our roster looks right now. So we'll see what ends up happening. So at the end of the season, Shea wins MVP, Flag is your Rookie of the Year, DiVincenzo 6th Man, Kessler Defensive Player, Amon Most Improved, and Luke is your Clutch Player, and Chris Finch is your Coach of the Year, and Nathan Mack is your Executive. So here is your All-NBA first team, All-NBA second, and All-NBA third team. So we don't get Devin Booker representing. Now, unfortunately, we missed the playoffs again, so that obviously does suck a little bit. Not really what we wanted to happen, so I do feel bad because I know Booker doesn't want to be part of another rebuild, which I'm trying to avoid. But again, man, that Beal contract is just killing us right now. Once it is gone, I'm hoping that we'll be a lot more free and we'll have options. So 31 points from Devin Booker this season goes to waste because we were bad and missed the playoffs. So let's see who goes on to win the championship, though. And we have a lottery pick this offseason, so that will be beneficial for us to have as well. So Cleveland and OKC, and the Cavs going to win the championship. Donovan Mitchell, after having a great game tonight, also wins Finals MVP in the 2K sim. So we got Al Horford and LeBron retiring, Brook Lopez, Russ retiring. Let's go to the lottery. So for the draft lottery, we're projected pick number 9. So we get the 9th best odds at maybe jumping up into the top 4. So we'll see if we get lucky. And we will have number 6 via Memphis. Okay, so yeah, 6th overall pick. I'm not really sure if that's supposed to be a pick swap, but 2K has it as such. And I think I've researched it before, and I really confused myself trying to look into it, because Suns have traded so many damn picks. It's kind of confusing. But we have the 6th pick. I'll just settle on that. So Thunder and obviously number 1 and number 2 need to be fixed, which is, whatever. I got to fix those every single freaking time. Because we don't want to let the Thunder build a dynasty under our noses, right? So let's go fix number 1 and number 2. And then we can jump in the draft and pick with 6 and see what we can get for that. I will say there's a chance whoever we draft with this selection doesn't even play a game for us, as AJ goes to Utah, Boozer to Washington, Darren Peterson to Portland. We got Elijah Arenas to OKC, and Darius goes to Oklahoma City. So you have Koa P or Caleb Wilson. As I mentioned, there's a chance that whoever we draft here is not even going to play a game for us, because we might just trade him immediately, because I want to get Devin Booker his help this offseason. I don't want him to stick around and be too patient. The man doesn't have many years left of being in his prime. I mean, I'm sure he does, don't get me wrong, but maybe he doesn't think that way, right? Because as a player, you don't want to waste years. So we're going to accept every single one of these other than that Beal team option. Obviously, we'll let that go. But KCP accepting that player option, which is why I kind of valued getting him, because it's an expiring $21 million that we can maybe use to go after somebody. So that should be hopefully promising. Now, I don't think we have cap space or anything like that, which we do not. We should be under the apron, though, if I had to guess. If we're not, then we have some issues. So, yeah, we're under it right now. So I want to use KCP's contract, and even Grayson Allen is technically expiring too, because his next year is non-guaranteed. And we have Reed Shepard, we have Caleb Wilson we just drafted. So we should be able to find the co-star to Devin Booker this offseason, I think, which is great. So we obviously kind of have our point guard situation figured out with Black, Fears, and Reed Shepherd. And then you pretty much have Ryan Dunn. I don't really know what his ceiling is. And then your forward position is kind of a mystery. And I do like the idea of Iguodala and Derek Queen slowly developing. So I do think the main thing we should try to bring in is a forward if we can. So as far as free agency is concerned, you obviously have some of the free agents here that we'd like to trade for, like, I mean, I guess Jaren Jackson. So some of the guys will be off the table, but we'll go look at some of the options still available. Devin Booker at this point is what, 30? So 29 years old, probably about to turn 30 here soon. So let's go see if we can find a guy on his timeline to help him go win a championship in Phoenix. Hopefully we can find that. So I have the target in mind, and I might be going for Jaylen Brown off the Boston Celtics. There's been some talk that the Celtics might look to shed salary. Now, I'm not going to pretend that I think it's going to be Jaylen Brown that's going to be traded away, and that's what this Boston Celtics is going to do. But it's someone I haven't traded for in quite some time, and it would be a nice mix-up for these rebuilds. Obviously, Tatum would be cool too, but Jaylen Brown would probably be the one that's traded away. Obviously, Porzingis and Drew Holiday are like the favorites to be traded away, but Shams did report that the Celtics might look to shed salary. So, if the Celtics also end up losing to the Knicks, which you guys, as I'm recording this, I don't know what happened in Game 3. But Jaylen Brown is my target if I can land him. I don't know how easy it is going to be to get him, but to me, we should have the trade value to land him if we try. So we're going to start with, obviously, KCP's contracts. We have to match salary. So KCP, and then let's say it's Grayson Allen. So we're getting closer to the salary. So those are just salary filler at that point. We got to bring in something really nice to the table. So like Caleb Wilson, who is on a team control contract for 4 years. So that's going to help Boston continue to save some money. So KCP, Grayson Allen, Caleb Wilson, and let's say we bring in, I'll try to throw in, I guess we can throw in, and Russ O'Neal probably doesn't mean much to them. We could trade Reed Shepherd technically as well, or we could trade Anthony Black too. Like, a lot of different ways we can go about this, because Anthony Black is going to have to be paid next year, so I don't really know if Boston would like that necessarily. But let's just say we go with picks then. Let's say we do our 2027 and our 2030. I don't know if this is enough. This probably isn't enough, but we're going to offer this anyway. They don't agree. They're close to accepting this, though. I can smell it. Okay, so let's say we go away from this. Do we give you... We probably give him one of the guards. So is it Reed Shepherd, or is it going to be Anthony Black, or is it going to be Jeremiah Fears? I feel like I always trade Jeremiah Fears, but again, this would be the kind of guy that the Celtics would want. He'd be on a team control contract. They'd save a bunch of money. But I think I'm going to try to keep Fears. So maybe we go Reed Shepherd instead. So Reed Shepherd, does he make the difference in the trade? Let's see. And he does. So Reed Shepherd is going to be the one moved out of here. We bring in Jaylen Brown to pair with Devin Booker. So we have kind of our new foundation going. So we waste no time. Anthony Black, Jeremiah Fears, Devin Booker, Ben Shepherd, Jaylen Brown, Ryan Dunn, Champagne and Russ O'Neal, Iguodala and Derek Queen. So Champagne's going to be our starter, which is fine. He shot 36% from 3 last year. And then Russ O'Neal is going to back him up. Obviously, I would like a better power forward, but we'll have to settle on it for now. I mean, we do have the ability to sign like a Mogbo, or, I mean, there's not much of better options. But what we could do is maybe take this down to day 12 and see if we can steal somebody in the last day of free agency. And we could be in a great position after this if there's a guy that's willing to sign for a 1-year deal. But Jaylen Brown with Devin Booker should be a ton of fun. Again, Jaylen Brown's not someone I've traded for in a while, so kind of excited to have him for a rebuild for once. Aaron Wiggins, like, he'd be kind of exactly what we could use right now. Can I give him a 2-year deal? Not quite. I can only give him a 1-year 5.68. He's not in. Oh, he's insulted. My bad. So we won't get him. Okay, so that didn't work out. Grant Williams is always an option. You have David Roddy. That's Jabari Walker. I thought that was Jarris Walker for a second. Not a whole lot of great options. You have Gay. You have Chris Murray. Dean Wade. I mean, do we just rock with Royce O'Neal, I guess? And that's what we're going to have to rock with. I know O'Neal is going to eventually be off the book. So, yeah, I guess we'll just rock with Royce O'Neal. So, let's go to player progression. We have Booker, Anthony Black up to an 86. Jeremiah Fears up to an 80. Derek Queen up to a 79. So, Queen developing is really useful and helpful. Power forward is the position we really need to figure out. But Devin Booker and Jaylen Brown should be a good enough duo and a tandem, I think, to get us into the playoffs next year with Anthony Black still as the point guard and Fear still developing the background. Now, the hope is Anthony Black isn't going to ask for much when it comes to an extension. I have seen him ask for like an astronomical... I think I just loaded the wrong draft class, maybe. No, I didn't. So I have seen him ask for an astronomical amount of money before, but we'll see how that works out. So here is your rotation. So it's Anthony Black, Devin Booker, Jaylen Brown, Royce O'Neal, Derek Queen, Ryan Dunn, Jeremiah Fears, Champagnie, and Iguodaro, and Ben Shepherd. So to me, we don't need to go to 11 deep this time. But to me, this is a playoff team. Like, if this isn't a playoff team, there's an issue here. So hopefully it does work out that way. Devin Booker, Jaylen Brown should score the ball like crazy. Black for his defense, which is nice. Which, yeah, we don't even need his shot tends to be that high. Fears off the bench, which could be kind of our bench score. So yeah, I'm feeling this, man. So hopefully this team does in fact make the playoffs. I have to imagine with Booker and Jaylen Brown, they do. We're off to a great start, so hopefully we can keep that momentum up. And I'll see you guys in the postseason again. We've given Devin Booker another chance at potentially being a contender, but now we got a losing streak going. But hopefully we've turned it around. So we are at the trade deadline as we're 29-20 on the season, and I'm looking to upgrade my power forward spot. I have a guy in mind that I want to target, but I'm kind of struggling with an idea here as well. So I did look to see what Anthony Black was going to be asking for, and it was about $30 million. So it does scare me a little bit, but I guess we could try to where we get him for as cheap as possible in the last day. So I was kind of thinking about trading him here, but I do like his fit on this team as well. And then I know Fears is going to continue to develop. Regardless, I think we got to find a way to keep Anthony Black. But there's other guy that I do like the idea of. He's in Utah right now, and I think the Jazz are kind of bad at the moment. So they're rebuilding. I'm kind of hoping we can bring in Taylor Hendricks, who is having a pretty good season, and he has an extension that has kicked in, but he won't be making that much money. He's making 7.8 right now, and he's going to be making 19 and 20 over the next 2 years. But he would be a really good fit as a floor spacer and just give us a much better power forward option. 43% from 3 this year. So that is kind of why I want him. So we're going to start with, can they take on Royce O'Neal's contract? They can. So Royce O'Neal's salary, so he could go back to Utah. Now, we'll have to see if they want these pick swaps. I have no idea if they'd take this. So 2 first rounders for Hendricks, who's only 23 years old, and Royce O'Neal. And they say no. What if I threw a couple seconds? They do agree. 1 second gets it done. We get Hendricks. So Hendricks is a massive upgrade to that power forward spot, which is what we needed, and he might even have the potential to keep developing as well. And then also we have Ben Shepherd, who's willing to resign on a contract. Wow, he's not getting a ton of minutes, but he's not playing super well, but still I'm gonna bank on his upside. He's not asking for a lot to stick around, so getting him on a 4-year deal for this much money in this economy, in the NBA economy, would be a steal. So we're going to keep him around. He's going to be making dirt cheap money off the bench for us. So yeah, I like that a lot. Making $6 million, around $7 million the next 4 years. So yeah, I definitely think we're managing our cap super well so far. Although, like I said, I was thinking about trading Anthony Black because of what he might be asking for this offseason. But he might be very helpful down the line. I mean, obviously his defense is valuable here. So we're 29-20 on the season right now. Loving where this rebuild is going so far. But hopefully we can finish this season strong and be in the playoffs. And we'll see if Hendricks was a great addition to this team. And I think he will be. So at the end of this season, Jokic wins MVP. AJ Banza, Rookie of the Year in Utah. Thomas is your 6th-man women defensive player. Is Thomas? Yeah, he is in San Antonio. Okay. And then Hugo, most improved in Atlanta. K is your clutch player. And Chris Finch, Coach of the Year, and Mac is your executive. So here's your All-NBA first team, All-NBA second team, and All-NBA third team. So don't get Devin Booker or Jaylen Brown making one of these. I don't believe anyway. I mean, I know they were both good, but just not quite good enough to make one of these, which is fine. It sucks, but it is what it is. So we, unfortunately, are just in the plan, but I will say the West was really good because we won 47 games. So usually that's pretty good, and then the rest of the playing teams are under 500. So we were just unlucky and didn't secure one of those top 6 spots by 1 game. So let's look at the player stats. You had 28 from Devin Booker, 24 from Jaylen Brown, 14 from Fears off the bench, with 12 and 10 from Derek Queen, who will continue to develop for us. 9 and 5, 9 from Anthony Black, 9 from Champagnie, 6 from Iguodaro, 5, and then 3.5 from Ben Shepherd. Okay, so we're going to roll with a 9-man rotation in the playoffs. It does kick out Ben Shepherd, who's cold right now anyway, which is fine. But let's go ahead and see if we can take down the Pelicans in this play-in game and get ourselves in the playoffs. Again, we're the only team that's over 500 in this play-in tournament by a margin of games. So hopefully we don't lose here, but it looks like we might to the Pelicans. So we are going to lose to New Orleans here in the first leg of the play-in. So not making it would be pretty embarrassing. We do deal with the LA Lakers, who have no longer, or no, they do have Luka Doncic. So Luka Doncic actually stayed a Laker for once. He's always going to Chicago. They also have Jaren Jackson, Davion Mitchell, and Dalton Connect. Not a bad, and Hardenstein. Not a bad team around Luka at all, but Let's see if I can't win in the play-in, man. If we miss the playoffs entirely, that would be absolutely unfortunate. It looks like that might be the case. Wait, we climb back in. Don't. Oh, we barely get out. Oh, my gosh. 41 from Jaylen Brown. Booker, not a great efficient night, but at the end of the day, we got in the playoffs. That's what we wanted. It would have been very embarrassing not to make it in, and thankfully we did. Okay, so we get to play the Timberwolves now. So obviously Minnesota's the first seed. They're usually pretty good in the sim. So I'm not really sure I love my odds here, but we'll see how it goes. So game 1 is going to go to the Timberwolves by 2 points. We give up a nice fight, 38-28. Unfortunately, fell short. Game 2, they're up 2-0. So 2 close games, but unfortunately, neither one went our way. They're up 3-0, and I think we're going to be done. Well, we do win game 4 at least. So we're not going to get swept. We win another one to make things even more interesting. We shall see. We had the lead there for a second. It's back and forth now. We might win another game here, and we will. So we're going to push the Timberwolves to at least 6, maybe even 7. Or if we're able to win at home here in game 6, and we force a game 7, that would be awesome if we could upset the first seed, dude. Oh, boy. This is going to come down to the wire, but I think we will force a game 7. So we're just down 3-0, and we have an opportunity to maybe, just maybe, knock off the first seed of Timberwolves. If we can do that, before we literally let some of our young guys develop, we are in a good position to go win a championship. It's a 3-point game with a minute 24 left. I think we jump in and watch the way this unfolds because, again, like, we're in a great position right now. So we're going to watch this. Man, I would love to see us upset the Timberwolves on the road on game 7 after being down 3-0. We'd be the first team in history to do it. So Edwards is going to have the basketball here. He's going to just easily get around Devin. Oh, my gosh. He just... Wow. Okay. Well, I have no words after that. Jaylen Brown tried to take a charge, and Edwards was having none of that. Okay, so we're down 5 now. So we definitely need a big basket here on this next possession. All right, let's see if we got it in us. So Jaylen Brown is going to have the ball here. We have our starting 5 out here, which is nice. Anthony Black's going to get... Nope. Thought he was bringing a screen. We're burning a lot of clock here, which is probably not ideal. Brown's going to get an open... Well, he gets Derek Queen down the middle. Okay, so we're down 4 now. Not bad. But we did waste a lot of clock there, which was kind of unfortunate. But let's see if we can get a stop on this possession. So Edwards easily drove on us last time. Let's see if we can't make it happen this time. So Edwards is going to get an open 3. If he makes this, yeah, we're done. It's probably game. It's a 7-point game with 53 seconds left. So after digging deep from down 3-0, we get ultimately disappointed here. But, man, we gave it our best effort. So Jaylen Brown going to drive McDaniels. If we get stopped here, it's over. And... yeah, this is going nowhere. Yeah, we lost. Okay, let's just get to the offseason because, unfortunately, the 3-0 comeback has been wasted. Randall's going to put us away even further here. Yeah, that's it. Let's get to the offseason. So let's go see who goes on to win the championship, I should say. The Pacers and the Spurs are your finals, and the Spurs go on and win it all. Wembanyama is your finals MVP. Okay, so we got a big offseason ahead of us, but the main thing we're probably going to be worried about is just letting Fears and obviously Derek Queen develop, which there's nothing we can do to stop them from doing that, but I don't think there's going to be any like talent acquisition things. We have our head coach, we have our 2 star players, and we have a good roster around them, I think. So draft night, I'm not sure if we have a pick. We don't. So player options, let's see what we got going on here. So we have Ryan Dunn. Of course, we'll accept Derek Queen and Shampenny. Those are 2 cheap contracts. We'll accept every single one of these. And then qualifying offers, Anthony Black. This is the big one. So he is asking for $40 million, which, okay, it comes down to 35. My hope is to get him less than 30, obviously, because I don't want to pay him that much, which is why I was considering trading him at the deadline. But we're probably going to run this same 10 rotation back, honestly. I don't think we'll be doing too much else. I mean, we could sign like a Michael Porter in free agency, but... I mean, we could if we wanted to, but I don't think we will. I don't think we need to. I think we kind of have a nice foundation going. So let's just focus on getting Anthony Black for as cheap as we possibly can. That's the hope. Hopefully no one gives him an offer sheet because I don't know if I want to pay up. I probably will end up paying up, but I really want to get him for less than 30 because he doesn't give us much on the offense. I mean, I don't know. What was his, he was 30. Okay, 39% from 3. I can't knock him that much, but still only averaging 10 points. I get it. His shots in C super low, so that makes sense, but we don't need him to score that much. Okay, so we're going to day 12. Should have the ability to maybe get him for a decent amount. So we'll give him a 5-year deal because he's only 23 years old. It's still going to be around 30 though. Can we go 29.5? Or maybe we give him less years. Let's say we go down to 28. 3-year deal, 2-year. Okay, he starts to become interested. 3 years, 28. No, not quite. Okay, we'll come back with you. 3 years, 29. Let's say it's 29 then. 29 flat. There we go. So 29 is less than 30 at least. So Anthony Black will be re-signed to a 3-year deal. And he will be up to an 87. Fears up to an 86. We kind of have a nice point guard rotation going. Derek Queen up to an 83. So I'm very optimistic about what this team could maybe do this next season. And then we can honestly low-key move Ben Shepherd to the 3. He'd probably go up. Although, actually, I guess we have Ryan Dunn backing up Jaylen Brown, so we don't need to do that. All right. Let's get into this rotation for next season. I do think we have a potential of maybe going on and win a championship this year. We were super close to upsetting the Timberwolves last year after being down 3-0, so I wouldn't rule it out. I think there's a possibility of it. So Power Rank has us listed 14th overall. We're a 4-star balance, so we do have Anthony Black still starting next to Devin Booker, which I do agree with. And you have Hendricks, Derek Queen, Fears, Ryan Dunn, Shinpenny, Iguodaro, and that does leave Ben Shepherd out of the rotation, which is fine, I guess. He'll just be there if guys foul out or whatever. So we'll see, man. I think Hendricks was a great addition. I think Jaylen Brown was a great addition. Derek Queen. I mean, to me, this video's gone super well. All that matters is trying to bring in a title now to this team. So let's see if we can't make it happen. So we're off to a decent start this season. Hopefully we can keep our foot on the pedal. Let's try to avoid the play-in this time and get a higher seed. So we'll see if that ends up working out that way. I have to imagine it will, but we'll see. So at the end of this season, Jokic wins MVP. Stokes is a Rookie of the Year. Fears does win 6th Man of the Year, averaging 50, 40, 90 off the bench, averaging 19 points per game. So obviously having him on his contract right now is very beneficial for us. We do get Coach of the Year with Joshua Willis. So things are looking on the up and up. Did we finally get an All-NBA representative out of... Yeah, we did get Booker finally making an All-NBA third team, averaging 30 points per game on 40, 50... I mean, 46%, by the way. 92% from 3, 53% from the field. So awesome stuff there. All-NBA first team, or sorry, all-defensive team and all-defensive second team. All-rookie first team and all-rookie second team. So we are the first team in the Western Conference. So let's look at these player stats. Yeah, 30 from Devin Booker, 23.5 from Jaylen Brown, 19 from Jeremiah Fears, and 13 from Derek Queen. So the beautiful part about this, other than I guess Devin Booker isn't expiring now, so that sucks. But I was about to say, you have Jaylen Brown and I think Fears under contract for 2 more years, I believe. So we should be good for, I think, 2-year window of trying to get this team a championship. Queen, same thing. So we'll re-sign Devin Booker, obviously. But pretty much everybody here, other than Shinpenny and maybe Iguodaro and Dunn. But we'll re-sign everybody. But I'm hoping that we can go this year and next year, as long as we don't win a championship this year. If we end it off, or if we win here, we'll end it off with a championship, obviously. But we'll give it another chance next year if we don't. So we get to play the Warriors, who have Stephen Curry and Jokic and Randall. A very interesting team over in Golden State as they go up 1-0. Yeah, running to an 8th-seeded team with Jokic and Stephen Curry. Who would have thought? Why do I keep running into these like crazy teams that are the 8th seed? So we get the first seed and we get rewarded to play Jokic and Stephen Curry paired together in round 1. That seems so fair, but we are done for. So yeah, that sucked. Not ideal to have matched up against them, but I would have loved to have seen how we matched up against the Spurs. I guess we won't know. That sucked really badly. Wow, that was disappointing. And they beat the Spurs too, so... But they lost to the Pelicans, and Nets went on and win it all. Does Stephen Curry retire? He does. Please retire. We don't need you to be what we're looking at next year again, because that was really annoying when we saw you. So the Blazers have #1 pick from the Bucks trade, which is crazy. Knicks have our pick at 29. We still have Joshua Willis. So the main thing to me is, again, I want to just re-sign everybody. Don't believe we had a draft pick whatsoever, so let's see if we did. No. Player options, Fierce Queen, of course, we'll accept those. And then Ryan Dunn. And I think we'll give this one more season. So Booker is going to be re-signed to his deal. Obviously, he's a Sun for life if we can keep it that way. And then Shinpenny, I mean, I think I'd like to... How'd he do last year? 36%. So yeah, he's still been beneficial, and he's not asking for a ton. Iguodaro's not even asking for a ton either. So, and then Ryan Dunn is asking for a little bit more than I'd like. So maybe we'll wait on him just a second on that. But we'll plan on re-signing him, and we'll bring this same roster back, basically. So Ryan Dunn, if we can get him for as cheap as possible, that'd be great. And then this will probably be the final season coming up, because Brown is going to be a free agent, and then Fears and Quinn's going to be a free agent, and it's going to be impossible to afford this team, realistically. So we're going to give Ryan Dunn a... this is already really... Actually, we're going to let Ryan Dunn come back as qualifying offer, because he's asking for a ton of money, and we don't really have the luxury of signing him to that right now. So he'll come back for making $7 million. So Fears up to an 89, Anthony Black 89, Queen's up to an 84, Ryan Dunn 83. Iguodaro is down, which is weird. So maybe we look into different, well, maybe at the deadline we look into a different backup center, but I guess it just depends if things aren't going well at the deadline. We got the first seed last year. Unfortunately, ran into a Stephen Curry Jokic pairing. Hopefully this time around we don't get anything crazy like that, but we'll also have to see if we get the first seed again. There's no guarantees that happens. So Cooper Flag wins MVP representing the Nets. Diop is Rookie of the Year for Chicago. Giddey, Sixth Man in Atlanta, winning Defensive Player. We got Silas winning Most Improved, Wemby Defensive Player, and Jordi Fernandez Coach of the Year, and Cody Toole is your executive. So here's your All-NBA first team, All-NBA second, and All-NBA third team. So no Devin Booker this time around. But Jeremiah Fears did join the starting lineup. So we're the fourth seed in the West this time, so no longer the first seed. So we had 27 from Booker, 25 from Jaylen Brown, and 21 and 7 from Jeremiah Fears. So obviously he's been great. 14 and 12 from Derek Queen, 11 from Anthony Black, 10 from Hendricks, and 6 from Shem-Penny. So all that matters is trying to get out of round one because we lost round one last year. Golden State still made it as the first seed. Now they have Zion instead. I mean, they had Randall last year, and they have Chloe Ware too. Like, why are the Warriors getting all these damn good players? It's kind of weird, but regardless, we play Houston. So Houston, of course, has Malik Thomas. They have Stokes. They have Amon Thompson, Şengün, Whitmore, Strawther, Brooks, and Carter Bryant. So it's a good team outside of their starting point guard spot. So I don't know if that's going to mean anything, but game one does go to us, 131 and 108. So Fears drops 37, which is awesome. He's been, again, a steal for us. We're up 2-0, 110 and 91. So far, so good. We are up 3-0, so this is working out, and it looks like we might get out of round one. And we do get Houston winning game 4, but we beat, or sorry, yeah, they won game 4. We beat them in 5. Okay, so it looks like we're about to play the Warriors. So Zion and Jokic, we'll see how that goes, but they beat us last year pretty easily, so hopefully this time around we can return the favor and maybe beat them easily, but we'll see. Game 1 goes to them. Game 2 goes to us, 114 and 95, 30 from Jaylen Brown. Game 3 goes to us, 118 and 103. Game 4 goes to us. Okay, we might be able to get to the conference finals, and we do. Let's go. Okay, so we beat the Warriors, the team that beat us last year. It probably helped that Stephen Curry retired, but now we get to play Minnesota or OKC. Now, obviously, we played Minnesota earlier and almost beat them after being down 3-0, and we get to play them again. And obviously, these two teams played years ago as well in the first round when Durant, Beal, and Booker were playing together. But Brooklyn and Atlanta on the other side. Obviously, Boogie Flan and then Giddey, Karl-Anthony Towns. Okay, this is an interesting Atlanta team. And obviously, the Nets have Cooper Flag and Trae Young and Jalen Duren. So, looks like a lot of AIs have done a great job rebuilding rosters. So, Minnesota has Dillingham, Brandon Miller, Edwards, Malachi Moreno, Jarris Walker, McDaniels, Jaden Hardy, Asa Noel, and Terrence Shannon. Got to work cut out for this year. Game 1 goes to them at home for them, and they're up 2-0. So we got to win game 3 and 4 to get back in this series. So will we be able to do just that? That remains to be seen. We got to win game 3 if we want any shot here. We have the lead right now. Can we hang on to it? Or are they going to creep back and steal it at the end? We hang on. So we have won game 3. We got to win game 4 as well. Start off hot in the first quarter, but it's only a 5-point lead for us after the first. Have won every single quarter so far, but doesn't mean everything, and we will even the series. Okay, so 98 to 118. Let's continue to go with Simcast because it's been working. So we're on the road this time. We won both home games. They did too, but can we start the series by winning a road game here? That's what they say. It doesn't. The series doesn't start till the road team wins, and we do lose, even though we had it in our grasp there. Okay. Game 6 to force a game 7. I need you to dig deep, Phoenix. They're going to blow us out. Damn. How heartbreaking. So 136 to 101. Anthony Edwards and Trae Young are your finals MVPs on those side. So the Brooklyn Nets going to win the championship. Cooper Flag as your finals MVP. So we lose to the Timberwolves in 6 to end things off. Man, I really don't want to end it off on that note, but dude, this team is going to be unrealistically expensive that it doesn't even make sense to continue to go with it, because once we sign Jeremiah Fears and Derek Queen to their long-term contracts, this team would be impossible to navigate. Really would. But pardon me, and then Hendricks is a free agent too, so I think this is all she wrote, unfortunately, because again, this team is way too expensive after this. So we got to the conference finals, and that was the least bit we could get, and that's unfortunately how it ends, man. So Minnesota had us. I still love the roster we put together. Unfortunately, did not work out. But I hope you guys enjoyed it regardless. We'll be back tomorrow with a Toronto one to end off some of the teams that obviously did not make the playoffs, and then we'll keep doing the other teams as they're eliminated from the second round. But thank you all for watching. Hate to end it off without a championship. Two days in a row where we have not won a championship. We got to the conference finals and that was it. But that's sometimes how it works out in 2K. So I'll see y'all in the next one. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.